So, let's see if this pile of crap is now working again. Hello. Good afternoon, Earth dwellers. Greetings to everybody. I hope this mic is now working. Yes. Good. Thank you very much. So, you can see I'm really in a nice place here. I'm very grateful to have a very, very good friend who is allowing me to dwell in his place every now and again. I do have several forest places that I can use that I've set up with plenty of wood, and there's like axed bow and arrows ready to go, ready to do stuff. So I'm always a bit nervous when people are running around, but I think it's okay. Well, I started a new relationship with this beautiful girl, and she, in fact, even invited me to her beautiful house up in the mountains, and a military helicopter. I was there for like 10 minutes, and a military helicopter comes in. I can see the fucking white. Sorry, excuse my language. I can see the whites of his eyes of the pilot piloting this helicopter. So he's close. He's like hovering, and then he lands 250, 200 yards away, but not close to the house. If he wanted to come to the house, he would have obviously landed closer to the house. He sort of flew above, and there's a forest opening. So there's a green area, so he landed in that. And I guess he was either loading up or unloading some equipment, one of their secret hidden reserve places. So I know where that is now. So if there's lots of TNT ammunition bunkered there, it's going to be soon in the hands of the new Swiss army and the new Swiss federal police, because we're going to fucking we're going to kick them all out. Well, they're actually going to just leave. They're going to all just slowly just dwindle away. They're not going to anymore come to their offices. The politicians as well, they're all now bunkered down in their bunkers, awaiting the big bang, the big crash, and it's coming. But you and me, the normal ordinary people who are not afraid to walk around, who are strong and have a resilience and a faith, a belief in good health and natural medicines. And I think for me it helps also a belief in God or higher power, call it whatever you want, money tool, the big spirits, Allah, Allah Akbar, with all of his saints, with all of his apostles and people who believed in him. But the good ones, not the ones, Jesus was an amazing, had an amazing role later in my life. I didn't really know how strong that was until I myself found myself nailed to a cross. And then I could feel what it was like for that poor chap. Now, of course, they nailed thousands of people to the cross in those days. And it was the friendly way of the Romans to remember where our place was, who was in charge, and anyone who should question their rule, they probably wouldn't really last so long and would find that they are then banged up on the cross. So I was, in fact, I've got to confess, I do remember who I was actually. I was Julian, gang du mal tätlich etwas schauen de Küche. So I'm sending my small little child away so he's not listening to this. So I was the thief. And yeah, it's unfortunate. What you do in your past life does come up and haunt you in your life again and again until you resolve the issues. Now, one of the things that I experience is I've lived in many communities. I've tried to find a place to live now for the last 20 years, but I've always been kicked out in the most beautiful ways. One of the first things, when I thought I'd found like a hippie village and they allowed me to stay, and I was trying to make a garden and build things up there. Well, they also told me to leave. So, yeah, that's fact. I was thrown out of the place where there is no law. I was thrown out by the hippies. So, one of the reasons I cut my hair, and I don't want to look like a hippie anymore, because I think they're all bloody penners and good for nothings, and they sit around and smoke dope all bloody day, talk a lot, and they don't really do much. Now, this is what happened in a lot of communities. It's always difficult to get the inspiration to plan things, to build things, and to grow in your community. Now, with the drugs people consume, things get done still, and work is completed, and some beautiful projects we completed there in this village without law in the big mountains of Leon in Spain, Montevenero. And but nevertheless, in fact, I made a big mistake. I, as partial Swiss person, I had the great and grandiose idea to introduce democracy to this hippie village, because I noticed after just a few days of being there, there were quite a lot of insider fights. Half of the population of the village left just a year ago, and the people remaining were basically quite broken and pissed off, and there was a lot of problems in the community. So also that meant there were no meetings, consejos, to discuss politics or things for the village that needed to be discussed, like water supply, forestry, building communal areas, space. So I observed this, but I also, before I could obviously get involved in politics or into the council, I had to first be put under this rule and system that they introduced, saying any new member, any person wanting to join this community must take themselves a godfather or a godmother. And let me just take this call. Ja. Hallo? Hallo?
Hallo?
Ja, hallo?
Spreche ich mit Herrn Erik Westerkott?
Ja, wer sind Sie?
Ja. Luna ist mein Name von dem Zentrum und wir machen eine Marktforschung über Wirtschaft und Finanzen. Ich habe ein paar kurze Fragen für Sie. Ich nehme sich nicht mehr als 1 Minute. Okay?
Ja, gut, ja.
Finden, dass Sie zu viel Steuer bezahlen oder es ist normal?
Was ist die Frage? Entschuldigung, ich habe Sie nicht verstanden.
Okay. Finden Sie, dass Sie zu viel Steuer bezahlen oder es ist normal für Sie?
Oh nein, super. Ich bezahle doch, ich zahle Mehrwertsteuer. Und ja, zu viel, too much.
Sparen Sie Geld für Ihre Pension? Ja, manchmal oder nein?
Nein, ich lebe von der Pension. Ich bin pensioniert.
Aha, okay. Sind Sie gesund momentan?
Ja, ich bin sehr gesund, ja.
Das freut mich so sehr. In welchem Kanton leben Sie, Herr?
Ich lebe in 3 Kantone. Ich reise zwischen 3 Kantone: Bern, Zürich und St. Gallen. Und manchmal
Okay, Herr,
in
das war alles.
Graubünden.
Vielen Dank.
Ja, alles Gute. Von wo sind Sie? Ja, okay.
Wir sind vom Marktforschungszentrum von Zürich.
Von
Vielen
Zürich.
Dank für Ihre Zeit. Alles
Ja,
Gute.
tschüss, schönen Tag. Well, I take these calls because I was a call center manager and a call center operative myself for many years. Yes, I set up Lexmark in Switzerland. It's thanks to me that if you have a Lexmark printer or if you work with a Lexmark printer, I worked on that project with IBM back. Okay. So how do I do this? This is now, I've never used this system before, so it's going to be quite difficult for me to navigate now. Anyway, so I take these calls, so I'm sorry I got a bit distracted there. Ja, wie kann ich jetzt das machen? Also, if there's some private questions, I've been told there's like a private question. So, but I can't read it. I don't know where you've sent the private question. I can't read it here. I guess this is because it's public. So maybe some private questions that you'd like to ask me. If you would like, I'm answering as I go on, and I don't. If you want it to be kept secret, I for sure won't give your name out. But if you want to email me, you can send me also email at eric@forestevents.ch to get into further dialogue with me. So yeah, where were we before I was interrupted? So yes, I do pay tax. I still go shopping sometimes. I have money. My money is buried in the forest, and I get very good whopping roots and moss. What's the word for moss? Moss. Interest rate. Well, it's better than the bank, because if I have money in the bank, yes, so there I have money hidden in the forest. It's really the first time I had to go back and get something, I didn't find it anymore because I buried it in the winter time. Then the police came and they threatened to remove all of my stuff there if I didn't move it within a few days. So luckily, another guy who's living in the forest now for 12 years, Isidore. Isidore is a good friend of mine. He's living in the forest in Winterthur, outside of Winterthur, the big city outside of Zurich. He lives in the forest there, winter and summer, spring and autumn. He warned me that the police had been there at my site because the police approached him, and the police asked him if he knew who his new neighbor was. And he said, what do you mean? I don't have any neighbors. And they said, you do now, because there's a chap living you one click away from here. Now they go to him most weeks. They bring him Krankenkasse Abrechnungspapiere, Einzahlungsbefehl und Aufforderung zum Betreibungsamt gehen. Heil Hitler! Bezahlen? Ja, jawohl, Herr Führer, Bundesrat pervers. Heil Hitler! Oh, das ist nicht der Hitler, Entschuldigung. Heil, Bundesrat, Heil, du weißt alles, du bist der Beste, du bist unser Führer. So, Mr. Pervers, fuck you. So, of course, he doesn't pay anything, and er zahlt nichts, er zahlt keine Steuern, keine Krankenkassenprämie, nichts und wieder nichts. So he's a very dear friend, and he warned me, so I managed to save all of my stuff. In fact, I had such a nice place there. My son Julian, he's 3. He was not even 3 years old. He was about 2.5. He spent a night there in the summer with me, and we had a very nice night. Unfortunately, it was the worst night for me ever because he fell asleep. That was all nice. We had a nice evening together by the fire. Then we slept in a protected tent away from all the bugs and a bit of warmth as well. And then, well, as he tried to sleep, or he fell asleep, a thunderstorm came with rain, heavy rain, and it rained and it rained and it rained. And I couldn't sleep because it was like the tent was being blown around. It was lightning and blitzen Donnerwetter. And I was like lying next to him with my fingers in his ears, just holding and protecting him as well as I could from all this. And I was praying that, please, let's not have any blitz hit a tree close by and bring it down onto us or close by, because I don't want to be up for anything like that. So that went on for a long time, and but anyway, yeah. The police found me there. I wasn't actually around. They just found the camp and they put this notice there. You have like until the end of the month, that was about a week, to clear all of your stuff, or we will clear it for you. So basically, I would have lost bow and arrow, tents, sleeping bag, blankets, cooking equipment. And they would just probably bin it, you know. So I was very glad that Isidore warned me about this. And yeah, so Isidore's still on the mountain there. It's actually Eschenberg by Winterthur, and it's where the wolves are. And something what I would like to do is, and I like this as a public debate with some of you people here, I would like to wish for the wolves to be released back into nature. I'd like the farmers to release their animals or to walk and wander with their animals again. following the routes, following places where they have worked and traveled for centuries before the new system changed all of this. I would love to be a shepherd because I'd love to work with dogs. I'd like to make these rounds and be with the sheep and with the dogs, looking after the sheep. Even with horses, and you can herd cows also with horses. You can just also let the cows freely roam. They don't even need supervision. You just need to know where their cycle is, where they go around. And then you can build in one place, you can have like an area where you can check them for disease or injuries, and you can help them. You can do what you need to do. And I've seen this. I've seen this in Spain. And I'm talking about herds of several hundreds of the most beautiful cows living in absolutely harmony, just making these routes up and down the mountain, through the valleys, grazing what is there to be grazed. And yeah, they will go to this place, and the farmer knows roughly where they are. I think he probably has one or two of them chipped with a with a device tracking. Where's my cow? Oh, she's off track. Hey! And you send a horse or one of your rangers there, cowgirls or cowboys, to investigate why she hasn't moved for a few days. And then, yeah, sometimes you will see that one of them's fallen down, she's injured herself, she's died even. And then you get beef burgers. What? Sorry, it's a vegetarian friend online. Did you say beef burgers? Yes, I said beef burgers. Sorry, I don't support this absolutes. I don't eat any meat because the Indian translation for vegan or vegetarian is indeed so that means you're a bad hunter if you can't source your own meat, and you will need furs and meat. Living outside, living outdoors. And if you want that sort of life, being a vegan is going to be very, very difficult. Living on fruits and veggies in these conditions where there's snow, where there's not much growing, down even to the valley level, there's not even green in the valley. Well, what can you eat? So yeah, okay, if you've got your own yard, if you've got your own little ranch or farm, you can plant indoors, you have a garden you can protect from the snow. All of that is possible, and I'm not denying that. So I'm not saying we should kill animals. We should live with the animals, and we can have a very good life with animals. And yes, we should reduce absolutely the meat consumption radically to down to a respected amount of I don't know, once a week, meat, once a week fish. We have to look at our resources, and if we consume the way we've been consuming, this planet is gonna go bust. We're losing so many animals. We lose it with the pollution. Don't get me off on the pollution level. But anyway, yes. So let me stay focused here. So yes, we need a complete change in governments and strategy. We should disregard anything the government now tells us, anything. We should stop paying tax. Now, we can't avoid the VAT, the Mehrwertsteuer. That's what they put on us in the stores. And I'm telling you now, that's enough. They should be able to make enough money from that. And if not, no, it will never be increased. And I would suggest even it should be decreased to maybe 5%. I know you guys in England, my family and some good friends I have in England, they are paying now what percentage VAT? When I was living there, it was like nearly 20%. Now, I think that's a criminal theft, especially as a manager or good earner. You're paying 40% of your earnings as income tax. 40% plus 20% you pay in the shops. So yeah, that's 60%. 60% of your earnings, the government steals. Huh? What? The government steals? Well, what do you call it? 60% of my money transferred to the government every month, every year, and sometimes even more. So no, not anymore, Queenie, you bitch. Oh, bless you, madam, you're such a sweetie pie, and your beautiful children. Who killed Lady Diana? Your ex-husband, that old git who's now what? Eaten by the worms, or have you preserved him in some sort of machine so you can maybe wake him with cryogenics when they have new technology in 100 years or so? Well, I really hope to meet that guy again. Prince Philip. Oh no, there's a fight going on. Yeah, well, my guys there, this is like the training camp as well, you know, for the ninja fighters. We have swords, we have axes, we have knives. Actually, believe it or not, I live in so much trust these days. I am not even armed. So this is the younger stepson, one of my younger stepsons. Now, I was asked the question, how many stepsons do I have? Well, I don't have a figure on that, because I lived with about 58 different women in my life, or I've been close to 58 women in my life. Many of them have had children. Most of those children are now old enough to beat the crap out of me if they chose to. So the other day I took on a fight with one of my eldest stepsons. His name's Lion, and he was with his mate, Leon, another lion. So we had this little sparring match down in the cellar on the carpet. And I said, come on then, you know, let's see who's the strongest. And he did his trick, you know, he jumped on me, knocked me to the floor, tried to put me on my back, because that was the deal. As soon as you're on your back, you can bang, and then the guy comes off you, if you're lucky. If he's still got a grudge against you, he's probably going to try and hurt you a little bit. So, well, not that Lauren and I have any grudges, not that I know of. I know I was with his mother for some time, and that didn't work out, but I know he has no grudge. In fact, we created a baby. He would have had a little half-brother now called Ion Dolphin, and unfortunately Ion died 5 months into the pregnancy. So yeah. So no grudge, but I managed to get out of his locking position and then get him around his neck, sort of behind him, and he just put his elbow, bash, really like this, bash, with the pointing bits about here into this region. I heard it knuck. But I managed to throw him over. He then wrestled me over again, and he lay on top of me with all of his weight now on my rib cage, and I heard it again go knuck. I with the last strength I had, I threw him off me, and I landed him on his back, and with my weights, I managed to pin him down. So, well, I did win that one. but I now am severely disabled. And I shouldn't tell you this because now you all know I have a weakness. But, you know, I still have weapons, and I'm not going to be an easy laydown for anyone trying it on with me. I would like to give you that warning very, very sincerely. So then I fought Leon, challenged me then for a fight. Now this guy's a real lion, and he looks like a lion because he's got rusters, big, long, big hair, big, and fat, big, because rusters, you know, and they're like blonde. He looks like a lion. This guy, he's gorgeous, really, but he's like that much higher than me. So I'll say, yes, I'll fight you. And I was aching already, so I knew there was nothing I can do, and the guy just put me down and on top of me, and I was like, stop it, I've had enough, I've got to go upstairs now and cry a bit. But I'm glad we started this, because the guys are really now into fighting and feeling each other, because when we're dealing with the police will want to cuff you, because they know with your arms free, they're at risk. We can hurt them. And yes, let me just make it clear. I don't want to hurt anybody. I am a very peace-loving soul. I am a wonderful human being, like you are, like we will try to be. And yes, there may have been some things said against me. If you want to clear anything with me, if you want to read my books, it's all written down. There is everything there. There are witnesses that I can call. There are, you know, let's go into discussion if you have any doubts about what I'm telling you. When I speak, I stick with the truth. And if I feel there's an exaggeration, I will declare that exaggeration before or afterwards, as soon as I realize it. Because, like all humans, I am also prone to a bit of exaggeration, trying to make the story maybe a bit more attractive, but I will stick with the truth whenever possible, whenever I can. So, I've been talking now for 32 minutes, 23 seconds, so I've got things to do. There's nothing really more I would like to share with you right now, only that Jesus is off the cross. I've declared war against Rome, the Pope, his cardinals, bishops, priesthood, any clergy who is involved in any illegal activity. And let me define illegal activity. I mean sexual abuse. I mean also psychological abuse with any people. You can write to me and I will go and speak to those people. If it doesn't stop, if they are still there and if they continue, their house will burn. Not with them in it. They will. I don't want to hurt anybody, but their place of abode will be burnt. It is written in transcripts that when Jesus returns, it shall be with fire. And I am E.V. Eric Allen Westacott, alias Ashi. I am representing God's work on this planet in the name of Jesus, in the name of Isa. Now, to my Muslim friends, I know you're going to probably put a death warrant out on me now after I declare this. What your Quran states that when Jesus returns, we shall all perish, die, and meet him maybe on the way up to heaven. Well, I'm telling you, that is not quite accurate. There may be some spelling issues, there may be some translation issues. From my version of the Quran, from what I read and understand, it is not fact. And you can set out a Fatima on me, you can have me, you can try and kill me. Send your best assassins. I challenge you. Try it. But I will speak out my truth about Jesus and about Isa, the prophet. I know him very well. I have walked 2,000 kilometers on the Jakobsweg, the St. James's Way. As a Muslim, I was the only Muslim there they had ever met. I signed in every guest book, hotel, albergue, bed and breakfast that I stayed in over 4 months, Mohammed bin Hari, my given name that I took on when I converted to Islam in about 2003, I think it was, 2002, in a mosque in Birmingham. So have no doubts, I am a man of faith. My other name I carry is Rashid, the believer. Yes, and I am a believer. But you know what I found? I found that walking 4 months on the St. James's Way, the most and the strongest experiences that I encountered were Jesus moments. Now, clearly, it's a Christian-dominated society. Their churches are full of Jesus dogma, pictures, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it goes without saying that I'm going to be focused more maybe on that element. So, yeah. But I also walked through the desert. You know, I spent also 4 months walking through the Sahara. I was then walking as a Muslim as well, and but my connection to Jesus, to Isa, was on the St. James's Way, and I had very powerful experiences and connection to what I consider the Lord. Now I can also speak directly to God, to Allah, to the big spirit, the great spirit. We can all do this. That's why the revolution happened, the Reformation happened, after Luther declared to the church that this system he can no longer support. We don't have to go through their priests to show our roye. Sorry, I don't know the English word for that. Let me just see if I can. I could probably go into and get some translation organized. I wrote it today in English somewhere. Redemption. Oh, was it redemption? No, it's you know, if you like, I'm trying to explain, like if you see you're wrong, you know, if you admit to you're wrong, that's, I'm looking for a word to describe that. So I think that goes a long way. You don't need to pay money into a little box. You don't need to pass on any gold to the preacher, to the priest. Now it states in the papal decree somewhere that those who committed like horrendous crimes, horrendous breaches against the Ten Commandments, against the Word of God, you can still possibly guarantee yourself a place in heaven if you pay in a bit of money into this fund, or a bit of gold into this place, a bit of gold into this box. So you can buy your way. According to the Roman Catholic Church and the Pope himself, he still supports this. One can, for money, for gold or coin, guarantee, they will, I'm not sure if they will guarantee it, but they will say, we will make it possible. We will do what we can. We will pray for you, for your soul, to not go to hell for this crime you've committed. Oh, you've buggered a little 5-year-old boy. Oh, and you mean his eyes were swollen and they went black even? Oh, and you see him every day now and he's still suffering? And what blood was coming off from his body? And you feel bad about that now, do you? Well, yes. Do you repent? Oh, well, that's good. Or say a few times the Hail's Mary thing, you know, a few nice lyrics, and you know, if you put some money in the, click on here, donations, look down there. Oh, this is I could be this Beichten online, Zoom Beichten. Da is Priester Ashi, and I have a fucking certificate that I am a priest, in fact. So this could be it. So bitte beichten Sie, ich bin römisch-katholischer Priester und Sie können jetzt beichten. Aber zuerst ziehen Sie da, klicken Sie da drauf und machen Sie eine Spende. Dann haben wir Verbindung mit Allah, mit Gott. Sofort. Und ihre Sins, ihre ganz grobe Übergriffe auf kleine Mädchen, auf kleine Jungs, die Frau zu Tode geschlagen oder den Ehemann ermordet für sein schönes Geld und den Porsche. Wir können das alles vergeben. I have a direct line to God here. As you click on the button donations, see how much it's worth for you. Now, if it's like I can give you some guidelines here, because if it's like a murder, well, I would say we're talking a quarter of a kilo, half a kilo gold to guarantee your position in heaven. So yeah, I'm sorry, it's gonna cost you coin. And any other ones for confession? Please write me private email, eric@forestevents.ch. And these guys have been doing this for fucking centuries now. Murdering, raping, distorting the truth. I could be sick with just thinking about all the bad deeds that have happened. Now, in praise to Allah, praise to God, and praise to the communities that I've met, there are some believers. There are some very good people who have some morals still there. And yes, so we shall hope that these people keep their faith. And I know it's not easy in these times. How difficult it is for a man like me who's had now 58 wives, has many experiences, sexual experiences with women, to be told, I don't fancy you anymore. You're a bit fucking beardy now, and I don't fucking like that anymore. So I'm going to take that nice boy over there because he's a sweet boy. And well, Eric, fuck off. I don't want you anymore in my life because you know what? This titty here is now for this new lad, and he's fucking big dick here. I'm gonna take. Bye, Eric. Have a nice life. And when you want to come and see your boy, give me notice and we'll see if we can arrange something. Oh, you want to come next weekend? Well, sorry. The police have told me you're a very dangerous man. And you're not allowed to have your boy with you and take the boy away from here. They recommend I am the sole guardian of your boy. Oh, and then I had an email, a text message from her. Oh no, but I it's been like a time where I haven't had a good fucky ducky with you, so I fancy you again. I'm like, I miss that. It was pretty good. I do remember some of the nookie cookie and diddy daddy. Oh, that was nice. And yes, the other guy couldn't do that to me. So, are you maybe next weekend, end of the month, free to come? And the other two boys will be there, my other two lovers. Maybe we can have a little chat together. No, I don't think so. So anyway, we will see what develops with this relationship and the war between woman and man. But it's clear that the church, the Pope, and his perverted fucking men, not only his men, but people like pervers, people in power, often have perversial sexual interests, because psychologically, and some of you may know I've studied psychology, and I know several psychologists, and I have many friends in this branch of the line of work. And also, one of my ex-wives, she was a prostitute for, in fact, 7 years in a big city where a lot of politicians, a lot of powerful men came in and out of the brothel, and probably came in and out of her too, and asked her to do. Julian, where are you? Ja, doe dat nog lezen und malen goed. So I'm going to say this, can you please shit on my face? Pardon me? Can you please shit on my face? You mean, can I shit on your face? On your... Yes, and piss all over me at the same time. How much? 300 euros. Well, I don't I don't really need a shit right now, but I could start with the pissing. Is that okay? And maybe in an hour's time, if you're still here, I could have a shit as well, but I'll probably need to eat something first. 300 euros. Now, you see, psychologically, these men who are in these powerful positions and dominate over others' lives every single day, they need a balance. They need a relief. They need to have like a ventilation system. And to get out of this position, they must have somebody else to do to them what they have done to their people. And they do it with these methods. Now, guess what? I have a list of all these politicians and powerful people that have gone in and out of these brothels in Germany. We can put cameras up anywhere these days. And these people are on television, in the media, and very well known to the prostitutes. Oh, he's coming. Oh, yes, we can hear. No, he's coming later. He's coming with his other chaps from this Department of Social Affairs and this Department of Financial Affairs and this division of the military and this place of government and this religious order and this title and so on and so forth. Now then, wouldn't it be nice just to release Porn League? Should I set up maybe a new, there's the Pentagon League, there's WikiLeaks. What about the Brothel League? Where every prostitute can post pictures, names of, and some of the very interesting sexual activities that she's asked to get involved with in order for this politician or this pharmaceutical or this banker or financial guru, this famous person needs to release his aggressions and his sorrows in the brothel. And what about if we offered live viewing? So there's not going to be any debate about, well, yeah, but you can fake anything. You know, this is like, this is with the technology very, very easy to do. You can take the head and post on another head, and oh, now it's Ashi fucking the Pope. What? He is fucking. Oh, Pope, I love you. I love you. Oh, 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 oh. Julian, everything's good. Keep on with your plane. Sorry, I'm only joking. Julian's not here. He's like 100 kilometers west. And soon I will go and get him. But before I go on that journey, and it's going to be a long journey for me, because I am wanted by the police for several activities I've been involved in: criminal, legal, civil. No, civil, I don't think they can do much, but yeah, criminal activities, breach of contracts, not appearing in courts, not paying fines from the courts. And I'm talking about thousands of francs. I mean, the court fines and the legal costs go into the thousands. I think it's probably now 5,000-6,000 francs. Now, I think there's prison time you can do for that as well. So for every 100 or 200 francs, it's like one night in prison. Hands up, who would like to go to prison? We want you. Could I give you then, thank you for your volunteering, I'll give you my ID card. You take that to the police station, say, I surrender. I am this guy. You can say it in Swiss, German, French, any language. You say, I look a bit different now because this is an old picture on the ID, but this is me. If you want to get into the warmth and not suffer this horrendous, like, cold at night, it's like -5 degrees here last night. Now, I've lived -15 outside. I've lived -20 protected by tipi, just a thin piece of cotton. And it's beautiful. It's doable. I had a heating, I had a stove in the teepee, I had plenty of wood from the forest. Easy peasy, I can live that. I have 5 places in the wood now, stocked up with ammunition, with arms, with food. I can go to Bern from here, and I'll be in Bern walking, or with the horse. I'll be in Bern in 5 days, taking it easy. And they will never know that I've come there, really, because I go through forests. There's no CCTV. I don't have a mobile phone with me. They can't track me because, and suddenly I can just appear anywhere I want to, and they're often completely dumbstruck. Suddenly I appear at a demo in Winterthur and they don't know how I got there. He didn't take the train. How did he get here? Well, you dickheads, you can't have security. Look at the Taliban. Look how the sophistication of the supreme commanding force of the empire, USA. Why again have they lost the battle? How could they have lost Korea? Well, North Korea. How could they have lost Vietnam? How could they have lost Taliban-controlled Afghanistan? How? Well, it's like native techniques. And if you know your country and you have the will to succeed, now, thanks to, was it Senator Wilson, they fucked up the Russian army with a lot of the help from the military. That, of course, did help. Then they got help from other military organizations to beat the Americans. Well, yes, of course, sometimes it's needed. But I tell you what, the damage I can do with a burning arrow, you can see maybe some transportation going past here, tanks, petrol tankers. I could get a weapon, an arrow. I can line up an arrow, and with a incendiary device at the tip, it's already burning when I let go. It will, an arrow spins, it will hit the metal and it will bore itself into that metal. It's a titanium arrowhead. It will enter this pressurized compartment with gas or oil. And then what will happen is that hole will start leaking whatever substances is, oil or gas. And then attached to the arrow is pardon me? Did you say thermite? Well, well, it's something similar to thermite. It's like napalm. Did you say napalm? Where did he get that from? Well, I got that from the internet, the dark web. Well, guys, I'm sorry. I think the police are going to start rolling in here, but don't come here. You'll meet your death coming here. The road up there is rigged with bombs, huh? There are pressure pads everywhere. Before you come here, your tank, your boat, your bus, your drone will explode in midair. I am warning you. And this is a warning to the Taliban, who their extremists would like to now kill me because I'm really defiling their Quran, their holy Quran, and saying, well, it's not quite the way you say it is. Or forgive me if I've misunderstood something, because I've been also told that you cannot translate everything 100% accurately if you can't speak Arabic. And my Arabic, Alhamdulillah, Bismillah ar-Rahmani Rahim, Alhamdulillah Rabbi al-Alamin, Rahmani Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, Yaka na'budu wa yaka nasta'in, Ihdina sirata mustaqim, Ihdina anta Allahim al-Dalim. Amen. Also, so just to give an example, if I wanted to be violent, if I wanted to have fire everywhere, I could. There's not been any violence, and I don't want to go down the war route. But it all depends what happens in the next 3 days. Yeah. If in the next 3 days there's not some radical change to the governments in America, South and North America, in Russia, from Putin, I'd like to have an acknowledgement. I love his country. I love his people. I would live there. There's some great projects going on there. People living in nature, wonderful stuff happening. But I think I would like him to admit he's done nothing really wrong. America broke really the communist system financially. They couldn't keep up with all the arms race and everything else, and it was just not working. So why bother? But it seems now they've gone the capitalist way, but kept the element of communism, government control still within that realm of administration. And yes, it's for a lot of people, they're wondering, well, how come these people can live the life of luxury and we're struggling? There's like no food in the shops, blah blah blah, but if people are happy there, well, let it be. Let the governments have the competition, let them vote for another ruler or another party. But look, money just creates evil, and more money creates more evil, and these people aren't really happy with it. So look, all of you guys and girls out there who want a new life, ignore what's happening. I don't want to make any more threats. Just live a good life. But I will, so help me God, defend my freedom. So if anyone comes here trying to drag me out of this house, or from one of my forest places, or from when I'm walking peacefully on the streets, if I see a cop who makes this position again, he will lose his hand if he pulls a gun on me. Last warning. Wish you good night, everybody. God bless. And see you again, same time next week.